Hey folks, welcome back to Hot Tub Beer Review. Tonight, we're going to go visit our friends up at Warped Wing Brewing Company. That's the shirt. We're going to try their space food. They're out of Dayton, Ohio, so stick around and enjoy it with us.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional, somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we are drinking and reviewing. Appreciate you checking out this video. I've got Andy in the attic. I've got Jay. I'm Ben. I've got some skeleton with some freaky eyes in the background over there. What are we drinking today, gentlemen?
Space food. Warped Wing. American IPA. I'm that guy. I wear the shirt of the brewery we're drinking.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like that guy who goes to the concert wearing the t-shirt of the band.
Do it.
Yeah.
I would do it if I had a Warped Wing shirt that looks that cool. I would be wearing it right now.
I've always loved their logo. That's kind of cool.
What concert shirt would you wear to the concert?
Me? I don't do that.
No.
I'm not that bougie.
Yeah.
I think we learned from PCU to not be that guy.
Yes, good old
God.
Jeremy Piven.
Dang. Why me?
What happened?
You tell me.
I don't understand.
You tell
What
me.
could have ever happened?
I think old Laser Eyes back there heated
Probably
up,
heated up your beer.
Heated my beer.
Yeah.
Ben?
Uh-oh.
We got to clean up on aisle 5.
Clean up on All Attic.
And we are back. Andy and his skeleton friend there got everything cleaned up. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates. Laser
mates.
beams.
This is a new toy for you to have fun with, isn't it?
Yeah. He's enjoying it too much.
Mm-mm-mm. We started this YouTube channel in one way to have fun. I never thought it would come with a skeleton with laser eyes that you would play with during the show. You know, that was not on my Hopped Up Beer Review bingo card.
More to come.
Tell us about the beer, Andy.
Space Food is an American IPA. 7%. 96 IBUs, Ben. As it says right there on the can. Coming out at you. Uses Citra and Vic Secret hops. Tasting notes: hoppy, hazy, juicy, refreshingly piney. I've never heard of piney being called refreshing. That's all about the beer. It's actually available in spring, so it's a seasonal beer. Warped Wing Brewing Company out of Dayton, Ohio. It's a microbrewery founded in 2014. Excuse me. We've had the Gamma Bomb and one more, right?
I believe so. And we've got 3 more in inventory.
Yeah. I can't remember that other one. I remember liking the name Warped Wing is in reference to wing warping. And for those that don't know, Dayton, Ohio is a big aviation hub. Wing warping is a system of pulleys and cables to twist the trailing edges of the wings of an aircraft in opposite directions for lateral roll control of fixed wing aircraft. The design was created by the Wright brothers, and it was based on James Pettigrew's warped wing theory of how birds flap their wings to create lift. And so Warped Wing Brewing Company's logo is an interpretation of that system. There are 4 locations now. Earlier, from our last episode of Dayton, or of Warped Wing, they only had 3 locations. Now they have 4 locations. They've got Dayton, Springboro, Mason, and Hoover Heights, all Ohio.
Yeah, and the other one we had was it was called the Liquid Picnic. It was a farmhouse saison. Yeah, so it was a couple. Both of those were a couple of years ago. So you have to dig back to check those out. But they were both pretty good brews. So I've been to the main tap room they have there at Dayton, the brewery, and they have a pretty decent, as you would expect, kind of bar room type food. They do some specials from time to time. It's got a real neat kind of warehouse tap room vibe to it. So
nice. All right, Andy, is that our update?
That's all I care to talk about it right now.
I mean, you're just so nonchalant. It's like you don't really even care to be here. Are you okay? Everything okay?
He's become
right, Ben.
possessed.
See ya.
All right, it's about time. We got rid of it.
All right, 2-man show. Yeah.
We're just going to drink beer now. We ain't going to talk about it.
There goes our system of checks and balances.
Yeah,
that guy's gone.
This show went from about a 14-minute show to about a 3.
Oh!
No. So what about this little story they have on the can? Ben, you want to talk about that?
Ben can talk about it because it doesn't tell me anything about the beer.
No, I noticed there was a little story here on the can. It's some words. And
and I wish I could read them, but I'm illiterate.
Yeah. I don't know what they say, but there are words. It kind of gives a little story of there's a few seconds left, and the ship is going to self-destruct or something, and yeah. I guess you have to check. You have to get a can and check it out. I'm not going to read it.
Space food. So, yeah.
I do want to know who Gus is.
The name of the beer. So.
All right. Jay has had this one before, as he told me before we got started here. Mm-hmm. Andy.
Yeah.
Have you had this one before?
You know what, Ben? I have not. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I could have.
You could have.
But I didn't. So, Ben, why don't you tell us what you think?
Well, I'll jump in and go first.
Yeah, see what I did there?
Volunteering. This one.
Ben's going to say bitter.
Yes, bitter is what I get from this one. It's a dry bitter on the back end too. Mm-hmm. And it's not my favorite because of the bitter. If you like bitter in your beer, or I should flip that and say, if you don't like bitter in your beer, this is probably one you may want to skip over and buy something else. I mean, it's not terrible, so I don't want to say that. But when a beer has, that bitter flavor really comes through, and that bitter just hits you, and that dry finish, it's not going to be my favorite. It's okay. You hand it to me. I'm going to drink it. But if I'm at the store, I'm going to buy something else. Put it that way. So I'm going to give this one a 6.5. Now, Andy, what do you think?
I do agree. It is more bitter than we typically drink. And it got me thinking, because I knew it was going to be that high IBUs, 96 IBUs going into it. And we've had some other beers with high IBUs and even higher, but it didn't taste as bitter. But those beers had a higher alcohol, higher ABV. And they had like
another ingredient.
Yeah, and they had a sweeter taste to them. Some are honey, but I think more sugar had to go into those or to get to that higher ABV. So I'm wondering a high IBU, low ABV beer. I'm kind of wondering. I need some people in the know to maybe comment. Would that create the more bitter taste? You get more bitter with a lower alcohol content with the higher IBU. Because I've read things and heard comments of more knowledgeable people in the beer industry say IBU isn't always an indicator of the taste of bitterness, because then if you throw in some dry hopping into it, that's going to also affect the flavor and it make it less bitter. So I agree, Ben, you're very valid in your point of saying it is more bitter than we're used to having. A little more bitter than I would prefer on mine. I do like the other flavors. It is, you get that hop, the floral hop. I wouldn't call it refreshingly piney, but there is a little pine taste, and a little drier. Although I wouldn't go as low as you, Ben. I'm going to give it a 7. I would drink this again. I need also to be in the right. It's got to fit my mood, my situation, and yeah. Right now, I've got a very full stomach, and this is not helping that. So 7 for the now 7.0. If you caught me at the end of a work shift, hungry, parched, thirsty, I just might go higher. So.
Does the skeleton play anything into the? I mean, you got somebody looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, you can't see. He's got a gun at my back.
All right. My kind of skeleton. He doesn't like bitter either, huh?
Yeah, he's like you.
What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, I think Andy has the classic case of like, if he had this when he was going to the grocery store hungry, he probably would have enjoyed it more versus going to the grocery store right after a big, full Italian meal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I love having a beer in the grocery store. It's just having a drink, walking around the grocery store is so nice. Here, so. You can do it at anyone's. You just put it in a cup, and just walk around. It's great.
Yep. So, yeah, I agree. I mean, the bitter is there. The IBUs, the argument, I'd love to hear more about that, read more about that, learn more about that. To me, it reminds me a lot of some of those really bitter beers where they'll take honey. The one that immediately pops to mind, if you were to take this beer and add honey to it and make it sweeter and higher ABV, it would be very similar to Hop Slam. It reminds me a lot of beers that come out of Bell's, honestly, because they do a lot of bitter beers. And maybe that's just the way that I taste them, but
maybe like a Two Hearted.
Yeah, like a Two Hearted. It's got that bitter like a Two Hearted, and then like a Hop Slam. If you were to add honey to it and increase the ABV a little bit, probably brew it a little longer or something. But either way, I agree. I like the flavors on it. It is very bitter. That bumps my score down a little, but I'm a 7.5 on this. I've had several of them. I'll still drink some more of them if I get them. I'm a fan of Warped Wing. It's one of one of the great breweries, I think, up in Dayton. There's a handful in that area, and Warped Wing is one that I try to get by if I'm up there. So there's 2 or 3 that I like in that area, and I think we have some more of them and some other Dayton breweries coming up in the near future.
Yeah, you can't beat the logo either. That's definitely a cool shirt to get from when you're looking at the brewery shirts. That's one that I would grab as well. So like that.
Yeah.
That is gonna be 7.0 for the Space Food American India Pale Ale from Warped Wing Brewing Company. Definitely a beer. If you've had, let us know what you think about it down in the comments. We'd love to hear those. And you can check out some other links down below in the description. We've got our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server, which is a chat room that you would have a lot of fun in if you would join us. So come see us and say hey. We got some other things. We got some merch, as Jay is showing off there. We've got some glassware and some hardware software we use to produce the show. So lots of very interesting and useful information in the description. You would be remiss to not check it out. We are working to 500 subs by the end of 2025. If you're watching this in 2026, comment. Let us know if we made it, and we'll know the future here. That'd be great.
Failures.
Yes, or you can tell us we're idiots.
I'm here from the future. You guys still suck.
Still a lame show. So that's what we're working on right now. So if you've subscribed, thank you. If you have not, please consider doing so. And if you have or have not, you can always give us a like. That would be very appreciative. With that, for Andy in the attic and Jay, and some skeleton figure back there, I am Ben. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Laser eyes.